Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I was planning to start working on the R language and R Studio. So I thought it would be useful if I record these tutorials in step-by-step procedure. So in this video, I'm going to show you an overview of R Studio and what is inside this platform and how we can use this platform to uh, work for our projects. Basically, R Studio is specifically used for the execution of R language codes, and the R language is based on purely based on the statistics. So, if you want to perform statistical analysis on your data, so you can use R language. Uh, it's pretty good. So we will explore in the coming videos what we can do with the R language. But to start with the R Studio, let me show you an overview of R Studio. So in this window, we can see different kind of sections here. In this top right corner, I have a section where the objects are shown. Whenever I run any kind of code in my R Studio, uh, if that line is storing something in a variable, those variables are shown here. So this here is used to show the objects, and all the outputs and the plots will be shown here. If I'm using any packages, a list of packages will be available here. I can simply install those packages, etc, etc. Moreover, the file directory, this is the file directory. I have many files here. Mainly this section is used for the plots. If I have written a code which is providing me any bar chart or any kind of violin chart or any kind of line chart, it will be shown here. And whenever I will be loading my data set and executing my code, if there is any kind of variable, then those variable will be shown here. In the coming videos, I will be using these as well. So just at the beginning, I think this information is more than enough. So this is the console. In this console, executions are shown if I'm going to install any library, or if there is any error, those errors or those executions are shown here. So this was the basic overview. If we look above, we have several tabs. Let's suppose I have file tab, edit, code, and there are many other tabs. We can perform a lot of things in this uh, software. So let me explore first of all the file tab. So in the file tab, as its name shows, you might have been working in the uh, Python or Jupyter Notebook. All of these tools have such tabs: file, edit, code, etc. So in the file tab, we can open new file, create new project, open an existing file. It can show me recent files which I have been working here, and we can open existing projects. It can show me if I have been working on any kind of recent project. We can import data sets, if that is in the form of CSV file, or is this is in the form of a SPSS dataset. We can import these datasets. I will be using this feature as well. And when I have opened a new file, then I can save it, print it, etc, etc. Such kind of things can be performed in this tab. So the most important one, whenever you have to work on this R Studio, you just simply have to open it and go to the file tab and then click on the new file. So here is the main thing. You can see plenty of new features, and new plenty of options are available in this, such as R script, quarto document, quarto presentations, R notebook, R markdown. We can write the C programming here. We can open the C++ file. We can open any kind of markdown file. We can work on the HTML file, CSS, Java, Python, SQL. It's a very broad software, and we can do a lot of work on it. So mainly whenever we are working on the R language, we have to use the R script and R notebook and R markdown. These are three options which are available to us. So if I compare the features of I will talk later about the R script. Let's explore these R markdown and R notebook. So if we specifically talk about these two things, sorry, basically these two are pretty much similar to each other, but they have a difference in their purpose, and they have same output formats, they have same code features, they have difference in the collaboration. We can use R markdown to add collaborators in it, but we cannot do that in R notebook. R notebook is pretty much similar to the R notebook. So uh, the R markdown has limited interactivity, and R notebook is quite dynamic. So there is plenty of difference in these, but on the generic basis, these two are same. Mostly, I prefer to work on the R notebook because I can simply add text into it. I can insert code chunks into it. I can easily run it. We will be working on that as well. Today is the first tutorial, so I will just keep on the overview. As we are going to perform our language on the R Studio, I will not be focusing on the other domains. So we have to explore the R script, R markdown, and R notebook. So first of all, in R script, a new window just show here, and in this section we can write our codes by first of all importing libraries. If we need to install any kind of libraries, we can easily install that as well. And if I talk about the R notebook, R notebook is different than this. In R notebook we can insert the title of our R notebook. We can select in which form we need our output. We can change this to word format, we can change this into other formats, but currently it is by default it is set to the HTML notebook. uh, it might be confusing the what is meant by the output. Basically, let's suppose I'm working on a project, and I have labeled it as a exploratory data analysis, and I have selected the output as HTML notebook. And when I this is a R code chunk. When I run this code, let me run it. So we can see that as I'm working in R notebook, that's why the code is not visible here. So I can see that my output is shown at the bottom of this code chunk. So when I save this file, this will provide me an output file in the HTML format. So let's do it. So when I save it, it asks me to first rename. So let me rename it as a sample. So output is saved here. There is a error in this. It is saying that there is any kind of unexpected uh, symbol. So basically, I have checked the error. It was in the plot into cars because I changed the directory of the file. So let's ignore that example. We don't need that one. Basically, I have removed the plot into cars from here. So now this chunk is empty. So let me run it because there is nothing. It will simply run. And when I save on it and I save it, then it will start rendering, and after rendering it will provide me a word file. So the rendering is successful, so we can see, okay, the R notebook is here. So in this style we can have the outputs of our notebook. When I will start working on the coding process, I will show you how you can simply use the R notebook for this purpose. So in R script, we simply write down the code, but it is very difficult to run the code line by line, and the outputs are not visible in the code. So it is better approach to use the R notebook or R markdown. I do not prefer the markdown. I simply use the R notebook. So from now on, in my next tutorial, I will be performing something that is related to the R language, and it will be written in the R notebook. So keep supporting my channel. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comments, and I will try to cover the maximum projects on in R language. Thank you.